A very good afternoon to one and all present here. Today we are in the third module of artificial intelligence. So in the last week, I think one week before, we saw about a genetic algorithm, the importance of genetic algorithm and its coding in engineering application with a simple numerical case study of mine. And in the first module, we saw about the basic introduction of artificial intelligence in manufacturing industrial applications. And now today we are going to see about neural network system, the mechanism of artificial neural network concepts in AI technology. Okay, so this is the proposed topic for today's meeting. Right. Now, before going to get into the artificial neural network, I just want to strengthen the concept in a very simplified way, such that you people have to differentiate what is the neural network functioning happening within a human brain and the computer neural networking system. So this is what I just want to compare in the initial section or segment of the presentation. So let us start the presentation in this way. So we are going to see about the importance of neural network in artificial intelligence system. First, let us define generally what do you mean by a neural network. So from this picture, you can see here, this is nothing but the computer generated model of a simple a schematic chain loop of a neural network system. Okay, each circular round shape, we call that as a node. Okay, each node is connected with a network. Lines are considered to be a network. So it is nothing but the neural network is nothing but connection of nodes which forms a closed network. So let us take an example of a human brain functioning. So the human brain has composed of many neurons which transmits the signal from one end to the other end. This is the basic fact everyone knows. So inside our human brain, we have as many number of neurons which are connected into the brain layer, such that the neurons are the communication which transmits the information from one neuron to the other neuron. So one neuron will act as a transmitter, the other neuron will act as a receiver. Okay, so our logical functioning of a human brain behaves in that way. So whatever the decision we take in our day-to-day life, this is all done by commanding of a human brain system, support with a neural network, natural neural network. But today we are going to see about what is artificial neural network. That is how machines can be trained by a artificial neural network to take such kind of a complicated decision making within a short span of time. So these are the comparisons I reinforce in before you at this juncture. So the brain has got many millions of neurons connected to each other. Likewise, computer develops an artificial network model in the form of a nodes or points. So you can see here circular nodes or points. This is nothing but the computer tried to create a model, similar model like this, and it will try to interpret the data, output data, like a natural human brain system, such that it passes the given input to read out the final output. Okay, in ANN, artificial neural network system, the computing model is developed by using a MATLAB software. So you can see here, no, this kind of a network system can be developed by using a MATLAB software, so that we can able to divide into three layers. So the proposed model can be divided into three layers. This is called as an input layer, hidden layer, output layer. So there are three different segments in this simple generated computer model system. So what is input layer? The input layer are nothing but non-mathematical functions, which does not perform any calculation functions. It is just, it will try to fix the data in the nodes, input nodes. Okay, so into the system which process the final output at the other rightmost end. Then what is the use of hidden layer? Hidden layer performs the mathematical functions. For example, linear function, the tangential function. These are some of the complicated things uh, by means of a structured modeling way. The hidden layer will try to does. Okay, then the last one is the output layer. That is nothing but a predictance of a final result. By running this model, what is the thing we are going to get it finally at the end of the experimentation. So just I'm giving you the theoretical framework. In the last slide, I'm going to give some real life application followed by some video documentary examples. Okay, so by seeing the theory, don't get bored. Okay, I'm just giving the fundamental concept, and later on we will be moving on to the real life examples in ANN in manufacturing system, ANN in airport application, ANN in military application. So how this computational science can be better implemented in all the three different areas. Now coming back to the human brain formation. So this is a way in which the nerves are pinned in the human brain. Okay, so whatever I told you in the previous slide, it is just a mere replica. Here, it is not an artificial neural network system. It is what exists in us within our brain. I'm just giving you a snapshot. So these are the neurons. Okay, so this is a receiving one and a transmitting one. So this neuron transmits the communication to the receiver end, so that these two neurons will join together, right? When the process of communication or information transshipment, such that depending on the brain commanding force, the human can able to do any kind of physical job in the day-to-day life. Okay, so suppose if you want to smell certain thing, your brains command you. If you want to run on the street, your brain command you. All these are the functioning of the neural network system naturally, what it happens within us. The same thing, we are just copying this biological future in computer. So artificial neural network system to solve any kind of complex engineering problems in real world scenario. So after this, you have any doubt before going to the preceding subsections? So I just gave you the pre-introduction about the basic fundamental about the artificial neural network system comparing to the human brain and the machine intelligence. Any queries? Shall I proceed further? You can react in the chat box or you can speak through audio mode. Nothing going to affect us. Shall I proceed with the next segment? Okay. So this is much more simplified diagram of an artificial neural network. Okay, the structured mathematical modeling of a artificial neural network. The very first beginning slide itself, I have shown you, that is not much clear, but to make you to feel better understand in a simplified way. So in MATLAB, no, normally people used to do this kind of the structured network modeling system. Okay, here all the nodes are concurrent, parallel, located to each other. So we can able to transfer the input data parallelly such that this model will try to execute the output on trial and error basis. For example, let us take node input node 1 and the hidden layer. There are 4 hidden layers, that is 4 nodes in the hidden layer. So this is nothing but the complex mathematical function can be carried out. Any logical functioning, matrix, addition, subtraction or multiplication, whatever the logical mathematical functions can be carried out in the hidden layer. So we have to give some kind of a structured equation model in the MATLAB software itself. So based on which the hidden layer will try to behave in such a way. So I'm going to activate any one of the nodes in the hidden layer. So I'm going to send from the sender medium. Input is the information communicator. So I'm taking this first node of input node. So the communication sends like through the first node of the hidden layer. So it will try to activate this node if with an assigned probability, for example 0.4 or zero point 0.5. So everything will be given in the software itself between two nodes, node 1 and node 2, with an assigned weightage or probability. So based on that, it will try to execute each and every individual node in the hidden layer separately. Okay, if this is not possible to read the data, output data, the control will go to the next node. From here again, it will resend the communication to the second node. If this is not working, deactive, then the communication will send to the third node of the hidden layer. If it reacts positive, then we can able to get the final output. So this is in this way, the trial and error method, the artificial neural network, the computer generated model of a neural network system in a MATLAB software considered to be working in this way. Okay, so I will give some example in the later part of the slide by assigning probability weights, how that is working after seeing these major branches of AI. So now still we are in the outer periphery of the topic. We have not gone into it more deeper. So these are some of the sub-classification of artificial intelligence system. The first one is the perception science, that is a perception system. So here it is nothing but an act of hearing a certain command or feeling the object. This comes under pattern recognition system in artificial intelligence. Okay, so what is a pattern recognition system? Just a machine can able to touch the object on image sensing method so that it can able to recognize what shape the given object is. So that is a pattern is nothing but the standard shape and texture of the object. Then the second classification of AI is a vision system. That is a sensor mechanism, capturing, storing, manipulate the visual images and pictures. And third one is the robotics, that is the working machines, that is a mechanical and the computer devices that can able to perform the more complex jobs with a high precision. And this one is an expert system. Okay, what is an expert system? Supercomputers. So the computers which are free from keyboard entry, manual keyboard entry, so which does not depend on the human input. So it will try to take real examples from the real scenario, and it will try to make a justification on its own, right? This is one classification. Then learning system, that is a language, that is a computer can able to react to the situation based on the feedback. You take an example of a chemical reactor. Okay, so you are installing an automation using a computer application in a chemical reactor. So to predict the harmful hazards of the chemical reactor, so you are feeding the information to the computer. So the computer will justify the surrounding environment depending on the feedback. Based on that, it will try to alarm the message or through by means of signal to the human casualty worker, so to safeguard or rescue the human life. So this is called as a learning system. The computer tries to learn from the surrounding environment. And the next one is a language processing computer. That is a speech learning techniques. Okay, NLP. So this was introduced by Alan Turing, the name of the scientist in 1950, Alan Turing. So in his name, the mission has been developed, Alan Turing mission. So that was the first mission, the language speech processing technique. So which was especially meant for giving the English command. Then whatever we communicate, the human being naturally used to communicate between two persons. The same way to communicate between two machines. So they have adapted a common mode of English language with the correct phonetics and grammar, okay, with the proper pronunciation. So this package, we call it as a natural language processing, which was found in the year 1950 in an Alan Turing mission. Then the last one, proposed one today we are going to see about is the neural network system. It is a simulation of a human brain, as I told you just few minutes before. So these are the various subdivisions of neural network, that is an artificial intelligence system. Now let us have a precise meaning, understanding as per the existing literature survey. What is neural network exactly? So it is a kind of a computer architecture. It will try to arrange the processing nodes, input nodes, hidden layer, output layer as per the correct architecture, so that we can able to transfer the input to read out the given output, okay, by doing some complex mathematical function on concurrent basis, by doing the execution of output on trial and error, by doing some logical sequential check. Okay, as I told you in the previous slide, no, if one node is not giving the correct result, the control will go to the next node. So it is like a loop structure, what you studied in the C language. Not exactly, I'm just giving the near sample meaning. So the trial and error basis, sequentially it will try to execute until it will read the meaningful, the final result. Okay. So likewise, a human brain also does the same function. If the neurons are not properly connected in the human brain, so it will not execute the proper action to the human body, right? So the same way the machines used to does, right? So what for these neural network concepts are used in computational sciences? So these are the different field of application. So pattern recognition, feature extraction. What is feature extraction? Seeing the geometry of the object and what kind of feature is that. It is a round shape or a square shape, cubic shape. Okay. Then image matching. For all these things, we are using the computational field of neural network to find out the answer within a quick point of time. And the next one, noise reduction in electronic signal conditioning mechanism. Recognize the pattern in the input and try to produce a noiseless output in the electronic signal conditioning application. And last one is the prediction forecasting, demand forecasting of a product. In that application also, marketing based application also, we can develop an artificial computer neural network to find out what is the future forecast of the product data based on the historical information, past information. So these are the area where we can able to apply these computational sciences. Now, what are the basics of artificial neural network system? Neurons, it has neurons and synapses. Synapses are the weights. You can see here, these are the weights which is assigned between two nodes. Now I'm going to show you in the next slide. Please listen here. So synapses versus weight. This is the biological human brain system, the structuring of a neuron. And this one is the computer artificial neural networking system. So the comparison between these two. So this has been modified as a node network system. So this is a positional weight, a number that will be pre-fed into the MATLAB software. Why we have to give this positional weight? To take the particular decision to read out the final output. So when you are giving the input, for example, I'm giving x is equal to 2 and y is equal to 3. I want to add these two numbers. Okay, so I want to get the output. So by giving some positional weight, okay, right? So in this way, the communication has been transferred between two nodes to find out the final data. Okay, so this is okay. So shall I proceed to the next subsequent information? The next slide that is going to give you more live information, the mechanism, how the positional weights are being functioned in the neural network system. So this is okay. You can please, you can type in the chat box. So please remind the other students to join. Only 12 are here. Please inform the other members to join quickly. So this is nothing but the detailed framework, the mechanism, how these weights are assigned and how to read the output based on the activation function. Okay, so there are three parts, essential parts in neural network components. Okay, so first one is the input. Okay, so here these are the randomly assigned weights which are given W1, W2, W3. Okay, and this is nothing but the hidden layer, as you saw in the previous slide, no? So which does the mathematical calculation. Okay, and activation function is the output, which is going to read out the final experiment data. Okay, so for example, W1, I'm giving 2.5, the weightage, W2, 0, W2, 3, 4.5, then W4, 5.5. For example, let us take 2.5, the weights assigned to W1. So passing the input signal through this node, and with the allocated weightage, it will send the information to the hidden layer. It does the calculation and it will try to execute the output if this weightage are meaningful, able to accept or not. If it is not able to accept, it will go to the next node. Here I have given W2 is 0. 0 means communication will be temporarily halted. It will not process the function. Then it will take the next node to process the function. So the third node gives the meaningful result, then it will execute the answer. So in this way, based on relative allocation of probability scaled weights, the decisions can be taken up by the machine. So if there is any problem, then again back propagation of so the communication will be sent in reverse direction from final output to the input stage. Again, it will retrain the model. We can retrain the model to minimize the error while reading the correct output. Okay, the forward propagation and backward propagation. These are the two cycles which can be performed in the neural network function in the MATLAB software. Then these are some of the symbolic, the meaning or representation. What is weighting factors? Okay, to determine the strength of the input data, for that we are giving the weight. So that using this probability assigned weights, we can able to minimize the risk of getting error in the final output. So just we are strengthening the level of the correctness in giving the right amount of data to the system. Okay, then threshold is nothing but the limiting point to get the output by running the experiment simulation model. Then activation function is nothing but the final output data which is going to attain by doing some mathematical operations such as linear, threshold, tangent, hyperbolic function. All these things can be done in the hidden layer. Okay, right? So now we will go to the application. Okay, so this gives you some blind knowledge about what is artificial intelligence. Now I'm going to give some practical implication of artificial neural network in AI, flight, landing and takeoff application, air traffic minimization. Okay, both in the sky limit and also in the ground, in the floor limit. Okay, so before going to take off a particular flight away from the port, so we have to ensure whether is there any existing flight which is flying on the in the sky or not. Okay, so using some satellite communication channels, we want to do such kind of things. These are the nodes. The hardware points which are given are the nodes. So these nodes will transfer the signal communication to each other. Thereby, it will predict the output to the computer system who are in the server station. So if there is two or more than two flights flying in the sky, they will inform the pilot not to take off the flight from the port. So otherwise, it will lead to crash in the sky itself. So we want to avoid the air traffic. Okay. So for this application, we can apply artificial neural network to find out at this point of time at 1:30 exactly how many number of flights are yet to be landed, are yet to take off. So these kind of thing, data, output data, we can able to get by using this computation model. The next one in military application, fixing a target, okay, an opponent target, okay. So in the vehicle, in any armed vehicle, we can apply the concept of artificial neural network system. So these are the undefined target, okay. So the target is not mentioned properly. So using a radar system, so we can able to predefine the target exactly in such a way we can able to find out where is your opponent located. Okay, so for this also we require the neural network application. Same hidden layer, input layer and output layer. These are the input layer. Okay, hidden layer. hidden layer, your objective is to find out the exact target. Okay, this is the final output. If your target is matched, launch the missile and try to demolish the target. So this is the simple application. So you have to do the computationally what are the possible things to do it. Okay. Then next comes in industry, in manufacturing industry. Suppose I want to find out how many number of manufacturing projects are published, conduct a model like this, artificial neural network model. Similarly, accept how many number of completed products are accepted. So I just want to know it, conduct a similar model, network model like this. So input a hidden layer, multi-hidden layer, and output layer. So do such kind of search process and find out the so-called output under each stream. So this is under manufacturing application, right? The next thing in marketing application, customer satisfaction in marketing, sales, service sector, how to understand, how to map the customer satisfaction using artificial neural network system. These are the input variables, tangibles, what are the measurables for the product, reliability of the product, responsiveness of the product, assurance of the product, and customer empathy. So with this, we can able to calculate the overall satisfaction of the customer and loyalty, customer loyalty, that is how loyal the customer will have a trustworthiness in the manufacturer's product. So this kind of application can be applied in ANN networking system by assigning this positional weightages. Based on this, we can able to find out the most adequate information. If the customer giving importance for reliability, so loyalty must be definitely good. Product reliability is nothing but more number of usefulness of time. So long time, service time of the product. Okay, responsiveness, service responsiveness. If the product is failed, the manufacturer pays importance to the customer queries on time. Quickly they are responding the customer queries. That shows the customer loyalty between the company people and the customer. So on various parameters, they will try to evaluate on suitable weightages. Okay, and find out the customer loyalty at last. And what are the advantages? So the neural network is a simple mathematical model which tries to learn the example from the real life and try to model based on the real life events. If a neuron is not responding, a piece of information is missing, it will detect the fault and it will try to re-continue the entire information right from the beginning. And it can able to perform the multiple parallel tasks without affecting the system performance. These are some of the peculiar the advantages. And other applications used in image processing, transport route detection, language processing application, speech recognition system, and forecasting. Okay, and as a whole, at the outset, before going to the YouTube video session, at the outset, I conclude the topic. So the artificial neural network, it's nothing but a mere copy of a human brain logical functioning in a more simpler way. So it has gained a lot of insight, this concept in research. Many PhD research work have been carried out in computer science field, the ANN, in connection with the mechanical engineering application in today's scenario, and make the process more easy and flexible by using some kind of logical algorithm to perform a particular task in a more simplified way. So now let us see some demo video. We have only a few minutes set to go. Once, suppose if the signal gets terminated, try to rejoin back. I will play the full video. Just see this, whatever the segment shown, try to grasp it, understand it. For doubt clarifying session, you can rejoin it back. We have only 50 minutes of time duration. Again, I will put the link again to join.